He said that he was trained how to get rid of bodies by Israeli specialists that the cartels brought in to train them. So he basically made caustic soda to get rid of the bodies with a lot of stuff you can buy at any hardware store. But a whole generation of young people disappear in that city.
What are some of the estimations?
5,000.
5,000 fucking people?
That's one of the numbers that I heard.
One guy got rid of 5,000 bodies.
Yeah, he never murdered anybody, though. The local municipal police was on the payroll of the other cartel, and the local military barracks were on the payroll of another cartel. So It was, you trust no one, like the smoking man and the X-Man and the X-Files used to say. That's first lessons that I got was trust no one.
Damn. When Calderon took over in 2006, from the research I did, it sounded like that was like a fucking switch got flipped.
Yeah.
And I read that they estimate over 250,000 people have been murdered.
Those are official numbers, so it's probably more.
Yeah.
Also, they don't count the people that went missing.
Yeah.
Body disposal turned into an industrial effort in places like Tijuana, where the famous stew maker was active. So what happened is that Felipe Calderon basically federalized the efforts against drugs, and he put the military into the fight. And he also took certain elements of the police forces and embedded them with the military, which was some of the stuff that I did, because we had arresting powers and they didn't. And also we knew our way around some of the places where they were operating. So one of the places where I worked was in Baja, and I got to see the stew maker, and actually got to meet him and talk to him. The stew maker was employed by an elements of the Sinaloa cartel. He used to actually work for the Tijuana, the Arellano Felix cartel, but there was a split that happened, and he went over to the Sinaloa side. He said that he was trained how to get rid of bodies by Israeli specialists that the cartels brought in to train them, right? And that was like suspect when I heard it. It sounds like something that's kind of made up. But then I saw some elements of actual experience and craft in what he was doing. So he basically made caustic soda to get rid of the bodies with a lot of stuff you can buy at any hardware store. Didn't get a lot of attention because he would always dress like an albañil, like a worker, like a construction worker. He would, make his caustic mixture, put a body in there without any clothing on. He would cut grid patterns on some of the tattoos and the face to get rid of that first. And he would dump that into a sand grater and get some of the solid pieces and put it in the next batch. That's a sign of craft. Somebody showed him that. So it makes me wonder. The amount of people that he got rid of as far as the bodies go is unknown. There's different estimates out there. I don't know. Like, nobody knows. But a whole generation of young people disappear in that city.
Yeah. What are some of the estimations?
5,000.
5,000 fucking people?
That's one of the numbers that I heard.
One guy got rid of 5,000 bodies.
Yeah, he never murdered anybody, though. He said he would just get bodies brought in. In a scene out of Auschwitz, where he was found, there was a room full of shoes and clothing. That was creepy as hell to see. Yeah. All those shoes and clothing belonged to somebody, and they just made these bodies disappear. One time I was working with one of the older guys. So there's a generation of guys that were on when I went in that didn't go through some of the security protocols that I went through. So some of them were more on the shady side than others. There is no such thing as not being being a cop in Mexico and not being shady somehow.
Yeah.
Even I was kind of shady, maybe. I don't know. But one of the older guys, we saw there was this pedestrian bridge, and they had 3 bodies hanging from it, right? And I stood there and that's horrible. That's a horrible, cruel thing to do. Well, the older guy said, The body's a gift. Should be thankful for it. I didn't kind of get what he meant. So what do you mean, man? That's just horrible. No, I mean, at least the family's going to get a body to bury and cry over. The body's a gift.
Damn.
So that in a place where that hanging a body from a bridge is a sign of kindness.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of hell.
That can put some shit into perspective. Fuck, man. How long into your career, to your law enforcement career in Tijuana, did it take for it to become real? Where you were like, this isn't a fucking game.
As soon as I got out, probably the second day on the job, we were kind of spread out in Baja State, and I got to see immediately the no fucks given by the cartels.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember me and probably 8 other guys moving through downtown Tijuana in full kit, driving around in some marked vehicles, and getting the order to stop from the lead car that was in front of us. And we parked aside, and everybody ran out of the cars and adopted defensive positions. And a convoy of I'd say somewhere around 15 vehicles just passed right next to us. All of them, a few of them armored, all of them with AK-47s. Some of them had federal police uniforms. Some of them had army uniforms. We didn't know who they were. We're getting calls from the 911 service they have down there, from the municipal police that they were municipal cops, but they clearly weren't municipal cops. So we just got in a Mexican standoff with them. Nobody shot around, but they just passed by us. We called for support from the local police, and nobody showed up. So
how many of you guys were there?
Probably 9.
9?
9 guys.
What's that? 2 cars?
That's 2 cars, yeah.
And they had 15 fucking vehicles.
Yeah. So that's when I realized that there's no winning here. Not like this.
Fuck, man.
There's no winning, not like this. And
why do you think there were no shots fired?
They didn't feel threatened by us. They didn't have any fear. So they just passed by, and they actually went to a local little restaurant there and adapted positions around it, had dinner, and then went back to their cars and left.
Damn.
No support came on our end. So it's one of those, that's when you realize how fucked you are, and how no support, and how there's just no backing there. This was before the Felipe Calderon administration. Slowly but surely things changed. We started getting more support, started getting more vehicles, more people coming in. We started working directly with the military and directly with some federal operational police forces. Eventually getting fear put into the opponent, the enemy, right? The cartel guys. It took some time. At the start of it, it was just hopeless. Just hopeless.
Yeah.
Going through the motions. I think it took about a year into it that a few of my friends were killed. They used to rent out hotels for us to stay in, and we had this buddy system going on. So if you wanted to go outside, you had to have one of the buddy system, right? But you would have to inform that you were going out. They didn't inform. They went to the store, thought it was easy, so they just crossed the street, went to this convenience store, and they got picked up by some cartel guys dressed as federal agents. They had the blue uniforms and everything, with the patches, everything, like down to every detail. And they were taken. They were zip tied and put into a van. They were found 24 hours later. One of them had his ID screwed to his forehead. They were being hunted.
Yeah.
That's when, like, paranoia.
Less than a year.
That's less than a year. Shit. And I came out of there in a generation of 32 people, and a lot of them are gone.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.